I'm not a coconut anymore. To open up very honestly with you, I think of these videos as disposable. And not necessarily in a bad way, but in a way that's like a sports podcast, but without humor. Just this thing, bunch of hot takes that live and die in a couple of weeks and don't make much sense afterward. Today's episode in particular expires soon. This one expires in like 5 days. I wanted to make a video about how I feel this week, and it won't make sense 1 week from now. I think technically the biggest news of this week was the announcement of the release date and the price of the PSVR 2. But also, who cares about it? Not in a way that like you should feel bad if you are excited about PSVR 2. By all means, be excited. But also I feel that it's not a relevant thing to most of this audience. I feel most people watching this video won't even consider buying that. And at a certain point you just feel like you're regurgitating PR points. You know, you're just doing the business of promoting some video game thing that some video game company wants you to promote. I was looking at all the trailers that Sony put out for PSVR 2 games, and there was this one for this game called Cosmonious High from Alchemy Labs, who made the Job Simulator games. This one, to me, seems like it's targeted directly at children.
Something strange is happening at Cosmo High, and the new kid and I will find out what.
I'm looking at this video game and losing my mind. Because it's for children, obviously. It's a kid's game, but also kids aren't supposed to wear VR headsets. You have to be 12 or 13 to even put a headset on. So you're making this specifically for kids who have headsets who are also older kids. So it's like Cosmonious High is like having a trampoline, but dorky. Do you want to come over to my house and play Cosmonious High? No. Anyway, that game, I feel, is probably relevant to 1% of this audience. Why talk about it? I do feel like God of War is maybe more relevant, but it's definitely what is on my mind this week, most prominently, because earlier today, the reviews dropped for God of War Ragnarok. And I realize right now I am playing directly into that promotional cycle. Publishers, when they know a game's about to review well, they'll let the reviews drop earlier. So Sony knew coming in a week ahead of time, like these reviews are only going to build anticipation for our video game. Sonic Frontiers reviews, I haven't seen those yet. I'm sure they'll be good. I'm sure you got this, Sonic. God of War Ragnarok reviews, exemplary. I've seen enough. We can call it now. The game is excellent. I haven't pressed a single button in God of War Ragnarok, and I can say, with great confidence, it's excellent. I can say that with zero fear that I will be incorrect. This number, arbitrary or trivial as it may be, has made me feel more excited about this video game than that trailer I made a whole video about 2 months ago. I don't want to see another second of this video game before I play it. Good trailer.
Good trailer.
94 says a lot. 94 says, it's okay to be excited. I'm not going to hurt you. I would never do that. And that's rare. You don't see that a lot anymore. You have to be Elden Ring level. You have to be donut puzzle game level to achieve that. I sat realizing that God of War Ragnarok is the most emotionally excited I've been for a video game in a long time. Really. I mean, Elden Ring obviously was anticipated, but I didn't know if I was going to connect with it as much as I did. I wasn't positive. And I mean, 2021, that entire year there's good stuff, but mostly. And then 2020 had some really crazy things. I think Final Fantasy VII Remake would have been hyped beyond belief. But also, that was like early COVID when nobody really knew what to feel about anything. Like, I'm loving this game. It was my favorite game of that year, but also like, what's happening right now. So it's been a while since I've allowed myself to feel this feeling of walking into a video game knowing I'm gonna love it. How do you know, dude? 94. I felt bad for Sony Santa Monica. It's not easy to have this burden of expected excellence. But then they just pulled it off again. Obviously, it's an abundance of talent, of time, of money. But hey, good, you did it again, and we now expect you to do it again next time. And I realize in saying that, this game is a PlayStation exclusive. Not everybody gets to play this game. And I'll talk about something a little nasty here. So, in the last couple of decades, we've lost something in video games in our easy access to being able to rent a video game. Just go to a video rental store, pick up a game for very cheap, and play a relatively new video game in a weekend or a week, whatever. You know, we've kind of lost that. I think that's still, like, GameFly, I think still exists. They'll still mail you some video games to rent, but for the most part, it's not as popular as it used to be. And so, playing something like God of War Ragnarok close to its release can be prohibitively expensive. Here's what something we have now that we didn't have in the 90s is that, okay, you can watch, you can go to YouTube or Twitch and formulate what I would consider a fairly educated opinion on God of War Ragnarok. At least enough to say, oh, this is not better than Elden Ring. No. Like, at least enough for that. You'll have that. And that's what I'm excited about, right? Is that I feel like this is one of those cultural touchstone games that's about to come out. One of those conversational pieces. Like, everybody's going to need to have their own locked and loaded takes of this game, and I'm ready to hear all of them. There's no way this game is not going to be constantly compared to Elden Ring for the rest of this year, and I'm excited about that. I'm ready to hear those comparisons. All I mean to say is that there's no shame. There's no shame in going to your friend's house to use their trampoline. In the same way, there's no shame in going to a Twitch stream to formulate an opinion on God of War Ragnarok. It's all good. And I'm just excited, genuinely excited right now, 94 level excited, that next week this world will have a good video game to play. Finally. That's delayed input for this week. Thanks for watching. So obviously I try to put my mind in the headset of viewers a lot. And I was thinking about this shirt. All you see is a thumbs up and the word never, which is kind of funny in itself, but I would be curious what the rest of the shirt says. It says never better. That's insanely funny to me. Here's the problem, is that every delayed input season obviously has some sort of fashion theme. It's a costume. Even when I was wearing those flannel shirts, that looks normal to you perhaps, but to me, that's not me. I'm just wearing a costume. These skeleton tees are speaking to me. The problem is that I think this is me. I'm like discovering a whole aspect of my personality I didn't know existed. I love skeleton tees. I think I'm becoming like a skeleton person. I don't know. I've been playing lots of Gotham Knights. I'm becoming obsessed with skeleton tees. I think we need to face the facts. I'm creepy.